What if you could use proposals to lead your client, to really demonstrate this thought leadership in the process, set yourself apart from the competition, and increase your chances of winning the project? And you can do that by integrating infrastructure providers into your proposal, piggybacking off of their authority, and educating your client on what they want and how infrastructure providers actually play to their needs. Those are two very different things. You have the wants, you have the needs. Your client says, I am always right because I am the client. And it's your job as the agency owner to say, dear Mr. Client, wait a second. We understand what you want. Please tell us why you want what you want, and we'll explain to you what you need to get what you want. That's the process, my friends, and this is what I'll break down for you in this video. Hey, I am Koch, I'm the CEO of Virtual Summit Mastery, and I want to show you in this video how you can leverage your proposal in the earliest stages of pitching for a project already to set yourself apart from the competition so that you do not have to compete on price. You do not have to compete on the timeline. You compete by adding more quality. And it doesn't even have to be your own capabilities. That's the great thing. So hear me out on this. Let's dive straight into it. What a client wants and what a client needs are two totally different things. Your client might say something like, I want a website for my new business. Or I want a website because I want to work with ABC type of company, and they will look at the website. They will expect me to have a great website, so I need this website. And what the client really says is, I need to find a way to enter this market. I need to find a way to build a brand. I need to find a way to demonstrate authority, to demonstrate my knowledge and my expertise. Of course, a website is a great way to do that, but how does a website do that? That is the important point. So you have to understand that the proposal needs to educate your clients on what they want and what they need, and why what they want might not be what they need, and what they need instead, and what they should want instead, and why they should want it. Still with me, it's a little bit confusing, I know, but essentially your proposal needs to say, dear Mr. Client, we get you want ABC outcome out of this website project. Here's how you get there. So you do this by having a discovery session. This is already setting you apart from many agencies who just jump straight into the project. Have a discovery session, map out all the business outcomes, map out all the branding requirements and stuff like that. Define a process of how you can achieve those business outcomes with the website, and then map out a clear project structure with milestones, with budgets, with timelines, so that your client knows exactly, here's what I want, here's what I need, and here's how this agency will get me to what I need. That's the most important takeaway from a discovery session. And you can include this into your proposal already as the first position. Make sure that your client sees we do have a discovery session. Maybe you even just propose a discovery session, and you wait with everything until the discovery session has finished, and then you give the full proposal. Let's just charge them for a 3-hour or 4-hour discovery session. By doing that, we give you the project plan, and then you are free to choose whatever agency or service provider you want to work with. And guess what? You might feel that it is a dumb idea because they would just use what you created and then hire the cheapest agency. That's wrong, because at the time when you've spent 4 hours diving into their business outcomes, understanding their business to a T, probably better than they do in the marketing aspects of things, they develop trust in your capabilities. The client by then knows that you understand what they need. They don't hire anybody else. If you do a good job in the discovery session, as my friend Lee Matthew Jackson talks about, if you nail the discovery session, you've pretty much won the project already. So here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to compete on price. There are tons of platforms. I mean, don't get me started on Fiverr or Upwork or stuff like that. Those people might do a great job. Some are just slapping on a pre-built template onto the website, sell the website for $300, and then they continue to the next client. Don't compete on price. Never, never, never compete on price. What you want to compete on is quality. You want to compete on expertise. You want to have your expertise shine through in your proposal. What you also need to be aware of is if you have little to no brand recognition in this space, you have to find a way to elevate your authority in the proposal. The way to do this is by integrating your service providers into the proposal and leveraging their skills, their capabilities as your partners. For example, if you were to integrate Cloudways as the hosting provider in your proposal, you could say something like top of the line server architecture, top of the line security, scalable server architecture, no shared hosting, but only your site on that digital server. You could mention things like GDPR compliance if you are speaking for a German agency, for example, and you have a German client. Pick a data center in Frankfurt in Germany and know that all the data resides in the German area. You can bring in things like CDNs, content delivery networks, the bot protection that Cloudways has enabled. Things like that other service providers or other agencies for that matter cannot offer. Maybe they don't think about it. Maybe they think it blows up the proposal. But if you explain why those things are important to the client and then showcase, hey, Cloudways has umpteenth thousand websites on their server, they get used by ABCD company, and if those big players trust Cloudways, it is great enough for your website too. This is why we partner with Cloudways. We have our own special rep at Cloudways that we can speak with. And of course, Cloudways is a placeholder. I know we're on the Cloudways YouTube channel and I wear this Cloudways cap, but you can do this with any service provider, really. You could do this even if you have a direct line to the Elementor team, bring on Elementor on. If you have a direct line to any other hosting company, mention them. The point is, if you leverage the brand of your partners in your proposal, you can set yourself apart and you can add value to your portfolio in the proposal already. What you also want to do is when you mention those partners, and let's stick with the web hosting example, you want to be able to provide the best quality of service when the project ended. So when the website is built and live and you take over the hosting, it's great because you add recurring revenue, and it's great for your customer because they now have professionals taking care of the website. But in the proposal, you need to make your customer understand that whatever service provider they go with, that agency needs 100% control over the website on the technical level to maintain the website properly. You can't have a website in your maintenance program and you don't have SFTP root access, for example. You can't have a website in your maintenance packages that you don't have database access for. You would be surprised by how many people I've spoken to over the past few years that were maintaining websites where they only had the WP admin login. It's crazy. Like, why would you take that on? If something goes wrong, you have to call somebody to just get the SFTP login. Why would you do that? So when you bring on those partners, elaborate how they add value after the project has ended. Set your proposal apart by leveraging their authority and then showcasing how those partners are still relevant when the website has finished, when the project is over, the website is live, and now it's about maintaining the website, keeping it working. Also, it's a big one. If you are a small agency, which is totally fine, by the way, we all start somewhere, and I don't have the biggest team either, and I don't want to have the biggest team, but you can only have so much support staff, right? You can only handle so many support requests. So you need to have partners in the proposal that you can trust on their support quality. And with Cloudways, you get a dedicated rep when you join the Cloudways Agency Partner Program. The link is below this video in the description, by the way. When you do that and you have this direct person to speak with at Cloudways, you get elevated support as part of the agency program as well. You are more secure in delivering the project. You can rest assured that the website is taken care of. And Cloudways has an agency partner program. Other hosting companies have similar programs. The point is that you need to have those partnerships in place with strong companies that can support you in your projects. And I know I'm saying essentially the same thing. Partner up with strong companies that elevate your brand, that you can use in your proposals, and that set your proposal apart from the competition. And then additionally, and this is the icing on the cake, especially with the Cloudways agency program, you get co-promotion features. So you get this nice badge that you are an agency partner of Cloudways that you can put onto your website. You can get a shout out on their blog with hundreds of thousands of visitors every month. You can do a case study with them. They're very, very open to shining a light on exciting agency partners. And this is why I personally am a big fan, and why I'm tooting the horn for the Cloudways agency program so much in this video is it is worth it, and it shows how much Cloudways cares about agency partners and about professional users on their platform. And by them setting up this agency partner program, you get so many perks that other hosts don't provide and don't care to provide, that I think it is really worth checking out. If you are using Cloudways already and you sell websites and you sell hosting through Cloudways and you are not part of the agency program, check the link below the video, because you meet all the criteria very, very likely. If you want to move to Cloudways for this, have a call with the pre-sales chat. They can direct you to the right people to speak with about the agency partner program. I think it's worth checking out. There are some pretty big bonuses in there, and especially the co-promotion thing can drive a lot of attention to your agency. So that's it for this video, and to wrap up, the proposals can set you apart if you have strong partners, and it can be hosting, it can be securities, can be page builder, can be speed optimization, you name it. As long as it is a relevant service for the project that you are pitching, include partner names, include their case studies, mention what brands they work with, and use those partners to co-market. Maybe somebody from the partner can even come into those calls with your lead and then showcase what they do. If the project is big enough, they'll certainly do it, because they've got an interest to co-market with their partners easily. And co-marketing is a thing I believe we'll see more and more of. So I encourage you to take advantage of this. Check out the Cloudways Agency Partnership Program below this video to take the first steps. And subscribe to the channel, of course, because we've got more content like this coming. Most of the content is very, very educational focused, not pitching the Cloudways services or the programs as much as this one does. But this is just too good of an offer to not mention to you. So I'm looking forward to catching you in the next video. Let me know what you think below the comments.